Marriage. Now, married life is a partnership.
Partner.
Yes, partner. Now, in today's video, Cece and I, we're going to go over some of the things we do to keep this partnership going.
That's right.
So stay tuned.
Hey, Blissful friends, welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Blissology podcast. I am your host, Cece, and I'm joined by my partner here.
Hey, everybody, this is Will, and welcome back. If this is your first time with us, remember to subscribe and hit on the notification bell so you can be notified when we put out these videos. Now, this is a weekly podcast where we talk about
love, life, family, well, basically relationships. And we talk about, nothing.
That's all we talk about.
Relationships, yes. We talk about relationship a lot. I'm sure you guys, already know the drill. So, so you guys know before we get into, well, for those of you who have been around with us for a while, before we jump into the topic of the day, we like to go into our blissful moment. Well, let me see. My blissful moment is my daughters. They are so caring. Like lately, for some reason, I've been hurting myself a lot. Seriously. Like I have this burn here from last week and I cut my finger early on this week. And like I was in the laundry room taking the clothes out of the dryer. I bumped my head or my fingers on the thing. And oh my God, I was like, what the heck is going on? I kept hurting myself. And thank God, every time I hurt myself, my daughters are around. Imagine, because I'm home by myself, right? I run a business at my home at my house. Imagine if I was like hurting myself so much and I have no one here to care for me. I'll be like very sad.
No, I would want you to be extra cautious as you go around the house. How do you burn yourself?
So here's the thing. I don't want to go into this because this was very like painful. Okay, the last time I hurt myself was last week on this burn on the stove while I was cooking. And one of my daughters was like, Mommy, are you okay? Are you okay? And I was like, oh my God, I burned my hands. And they went and got the ice. One got, the
Band-Aids.
Yes. And the other one was like, Mommy, sit down. And I was like, oh, they're so sweet. And I cut myself early on this week. And she was like, Mommy, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm not okay. But here's the thing. My daughters are so dramatic. When I said I'm not okay, first thing they do is they go and find what they need to find to make me better, to make me feel better. So then when they got the ice pack and they got Band-Aids and they got, they want me to sit down and sometimes massage my back or pat my forehead or something. And I was telling the little one earlier, I was like, you know what? You're going to be such a great doctor. I feel like when you get older because you're so caring. And the oldest one is just like, Mommy, I want to make sure you're okay. Is there anything I can do to help? It's such a great feeling to see your kids are so caring. Like some kids will be like, you're fine. My husband probably would have been like, she's all right. She's all right. Again,
You'll survive.
I feel like it is such a blessing when you have girls. And I think sometimes, having boys too, if they are in the mood for it, they'll ask if you're okay.
You'll survive.
And they'll get you some stuff.
But it's a little cut.
But I feel like, you know what? My girls are very sensitive. They care for their mommy. They probably would have done the same thing for you too. Right?
I know Issa would. I know about Bree.
Yeah, true. They would have done the same thing and they would have said, Daddy, here's some ice pack or something to make you feel better. It is such a great feeling to hear when your kid is like, I just want you to feel better, Mommy. It's so cute. It's like, oh, you do care. It's not that I'm feeding you. You do care. So,
we have
yes.
some caring kids.
We do.
I must say.
Yeah, you got it from
me.
They
don't
though.
do the same thing they do for the mom for me. But I don't keep cutting myself.
They got it from me.
If I cut myself, it's no big deal.
But if you cut yourself, they would have asked you. Many times you bump yourself into something and they're like, Daddy, you okay? They're like, wherever you are, they'll come out and ask you if you're okay. And they'll make sure that you are okay.
Yeah, they
right?
do care.
They do care. And they got it from me. So, yes, that's my bliss moment. It's such a great feeling and I'm happy. And I just hope they still like this for the rest of their life. Okay. Forever. Let me just say this. I hope they still like this forever. So, I'm happy. Now I'm better. Okay. I'm better. They kiss it. They put the ice.
I wonder what she's going to do next week.
God, I don't know.
Don't bump your head onto anything while we're not home.
I hope not. Because I almost lost an eye a few years ago.
I know she heard us. Let me just not say it.
I almost
Don't
did.
mess with the light stand if you don't know how to.
I literally, was it 2020?
Work it out. Yes, it was 2020. So
yeah.
From that point on, she does not touch the light stands.
I'm not clumsy. Let's get this straight. I'm not clumsy. Okay? I just be busy and sometimes I don't be thinking.
She does things sometimes without paying attention. Or, I don't know. There are things that she's not supposed to touch in the light stands.
Yes, I almost lost an eye. Like I had this eye was like almost cut.
Yeah, it hits you right here.
I probably still have the mark there, and I was bleeding like crazy.
Yeah,
it was around COVID too. Everybody was panicking. You were panicking.
Well, yes, I know what happened. I mean, I heard the bumping and I saw blood, and I'm like, what the
hell?
Yeah,
this is all for social media. Thanks to Instagram, I almost lost an eye.
So she hurt herself, not on purpose. She said she's not clumsy, but
what? I'm not clumsy. Don't mess with me. I'm not clumsy. I'm just like
cutting stuff, and before you know it, the knife is on her hands and cut her.
Which I've done. Which I've done before.
She's on the stove before you know it, the fingers touching the burner. Which
I've done before in the past when I was in college. That happened.
I know what to call that. So
I'm not clumsy. I just don't be thinking sometimes. That's all. That's all it is. And it's okay. You know what? It's okay.
She's fine.
And I'm glad I have a partner, that really take care of me whenever
keep her away from the light stands.
Yes. Keep me away from that.
The burners.
Keep me away from everything altogether. Send me on vacation instead.
Anyway, so much about your I don't know what to call it. It's not clumsiness.
It's my bliss.
We call it her ability to hurt herself. So much about it. Now let's get into the topic of the day, which is partnership.
Yes.
Right?
Partnership. Yes. Big deal in a marriage, right?
Contract agreement.
Yes. Big deal in a marriage.
That's a big deal. I mean, in a marriage, a partnership is that agreement that we made that gives us equal opportunity on decision making, and everything else, responsibilities, chores, whatever it may be.
Yes. Work together. Listen, when we got married, it wasn't like one is gonna do all the work, the other one is gonna be like chill and relax. Right? When we got married,
that wouldn't have been so bad of an arrangement if I was the one relaxing.
Okay.
But yes, it's that arrangement we make to live together, to share responsibility, to share power, because there's a partnership where one partner holds or sucks all the power in the relationship, but the other one becomes powerless. So it's living, growing, and building together.
Yes,
and that takes some work.
It takes a lot of work. Listen, last week we talked about, it's marriage for everyone. And this is, I feel like marriage and partnership is also something that you got to think about when it comes to marriage too. Are you really willing to, give up the things that your freedom, right?
Yeah. Your freedom, your power as well.
Your power, And to me, ever since we say I do, from the moment, it's like whatever we do it together, unless when he goes to work, of course. Whatever we do it together. We talk about it. Even when it comes to the house, right? the kids, all that. You got to come and do it together. But there's a problem sometimes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
There's always going to be a problem.
It takes two to make it work.
It takes two to tango, right?
and sometimes it's a concept that's difficult for some people to grasp. Sometimes one partner may think, that's I own this, and this is my my little thing, or my big thing,
right?
And you have no part in this. And the moment that you start claiming ownership of certain things, that partnership starts falling apart, because it's called a partnership because we in it together.
It's like a business deal.
Well, marriage is a business deal. Yeah, it is.
Right. It's like I make a promise to, work together with you. I make a promise that you're going to pay me. Or you promise to pay me for whatever that I do. And I promise to, reward you in the possible way,
Yeah. And, our background sometimes can be the reason why sometimes.
What do you mean by background? You mean like, a household? Like where you were raised?
If you were raised in a household where as a child you never had a say in anything, you were brought up to be
like a spoiled brat.
No. There's that too, but I'm talking about where you brought up to be a submissive child, where you agree with everything. You're afraid of sharing your opinion. In a partnership like this, you get abused, and eventually you get fed up and break away. So your background can cause that partnership not to work, because when you get into it, it becomes everyone should have a voice and everyone should have a say.
Right.
The same thing, someone who's been a spoiled brat from growing up, they always get their way.
Yeah.
It's what they say, that's what goes.
Yeah.
That won't work in a partnership either.
It won't. But imagine if it's something like one partner is not saying much about that child, is, do whatever they want to do. Because imagine both of us have our daughters, right? Where you allow them to do whatever they want. And I'm like, that's not how I was raised. The way I was raised, my mom was very like, no, you got to wait your turn to say what you have to say, or sometimes you don't get a chance to say. It's like the parent says what they say and then you move on. So that sometimes can be a conflict in a relationship too, where one parent is more like laid back or do whatever you want to do. The kids are fine. Oh, it's fine. And as the other parent is like, okay, we got to come into, some kind of sit together and talk about how we're going to do this together. And it can break a marriage because not everyone's the same.
Oh, absolutely. We're different, but when and I'm glad you brought up raising child together. We all have to be on the same page. Where what one says, where what one says is the same thing the other one says.
Sometimes it don't be happening here. I know.
Some people like for the kids to get stuff. Sometimes when I say, "Hey, listen, this is it."
Okay, here's the thing. When it comes to like, them get something, like either a toy or whatever, I'm more lenient on, babe, it's okay. Let them have it, right? But when it comes to discipline the girls, we both very strong to, make sure they both have a really good, solid discipline at home, in school, where at grandma's house or wherever they are, they're going to have that same mentality, that same discipline. But when it comes to toys or whatever, I'm more like, babe, you know how it is, us mom, we gotta like talk very nicely and in order for them to get. And sometimes they know to go to daddy, not to come to me, because he might say, okay, fine, go ahead and get it. And I'll be like,
not often.
Really? They do come to you more often when it comes to buying the apps on their iPad. Yes.
Yeah, those are like.
It doesn't matter.
$5 stuff.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're talking partnership here.
Yes, raising children comes with its own challenges, and yes, that could be tough. However, when you're thinking about getting into a partnership, you have to. there's some key components that has to be in place when it comes to a partnership, right? And for you to develop a successful partnership with whomever you're going to be living the rest of your lives with, there's certain things you have to make sure that are in place. Like a true partnership has to, it has to be, you have to be willing to work together to find solutions.
Right.
Whether it's about raising the kids or growing your wealth, making money together.
Or I would say taking care of the house.
Taking care of the house.
Taking care of each other.
That's hard work. Taking care of each other, we're pretty easy to take care of. They are difficult. I'm just going to say.
I don't know about difficult. I don't know about that. And of course, we gotta keep our faith together too, right?
Yes.
We gotta grow our faith together. So
in fact, I think maybe that should be the first thing. When it comes to this thing.
The first and the last. Right?
First and the last. We gotta make sure we have God all around us.
All around.
But yeah, those are some key things that are important, especially, we were just talking about the kids. All of us know, for those of us who have kids, sometimes they could be challenging,
pain
right?
in the butt.
Yes,
a pain
they
in
can
the
be
butt
a pain.
and fun to be around.
Well, yes, you keep bragging about your kids almost every podcast, so I know you're proud to have them.
My mom is proud of me too.
But she does complain about them as well.
Yeah, I do.
But that's not saying it takes hard work to raise children.
It does.
And on top of that, they come with no manual, so a lot of us, we're kind of like figuring it out as we go.
Yeah.
And we talked about decision making earlier, so you have to be together with your decision. Otherwise, your children will play you against each other. And
boy, listen, they know how to play the trick too.
Kids are smart. They can tell which parent is weak and which parent is strong. And when they want something and they want to make sure it gets done, they'll go to the weak one.
I'm the weak one. I am. I just don't have the heart to say no sometimes.
Listen, we love our children, right? And sometimes we want to give them the thing. But, this is the one thing. This is the one thing that I believe children form behaviors really, really early on.
Yes.
And there's certain things, if we don't make sure they learn them, they will grow up never learning them.
Right.
Like, you don't always get what you want whenever you want them. Sometimes it's okay to hear no.
To me, I feel like it all started when they were like babies, because they know to cry. They know if you hold them up, if you pick them up from the floor, from the bed, they're gonna stop crying.
Yeah.
If they know that they can manipulate you, so that's, to me, I feel like it all started at birth.
So I don't want to give them reasons to manipulate me. They need to know that you will never always get what you want whenever you want it. Sometimes you're gonna hear no, and that's a real world thing.
Yes, and I feel like babies are born with God-giving manual. Like, I feel like as soon as they're born, God is like, I want you to cry to get their attention. I want you to, in order for you to get their attention, this is what you have to do. Seriously, like, think about it.
Well, yes, those are the things that,
it's like
babies are born with certain things. Like, they'll react to loud noise. They learn to suck. Right?
Yes, it's the
manual. Put something in the mouth. No, those are instincts that they're born with.
God gave them that.
Yeah, God gives them everything, but there's certain things that they didn't have to learn.
What's going on in there while they're inside of the belly? Like, God's probably like putting some stuff together. But I'm just saying.
I don't know. but there's certain thing they didn't have to learn. It just kind of come by instinct. So
yeah.
So in that case, they'll do these things, like the reaction to loud noises, the sucking anything that comes in their mouth, and obviously cry so they can get your attention. I mean, what I'm talking about is behaviors that are learned, and kids will learn certain things, to do certain things to get what they want.
Yes.
And I want to make sure that they know you just can't play me that way.
Yes. And this is where partnership comes too. Like, in a marriage, if the wife is busy doing something, you as a husband, it's good to help your spouse out. Just make sure that, hey, My wife had a long day with little Susie. Now let me make sure that I change her diaper, or little Johnny. Let me make sure I change their diapers and keep them, together. So we have to make sure we work together. It's not one woman's job. Like, we say I do together, or we are together in this, whether you're married or not, right? You got to raise a child together. One thing I don't like is when I see a parent just let when I see a couple let one person do most of the work, and they don't think that they need to help out or participate.
There could be reasons that we don't know. There are some people that like to hoard all the responsibilities.
No, but how
good
about
at this? I'll do this, and you stay away.
No, but how about you as the husband volunteer and ask, "Hey, babe, can I help you out? Is there anything I can do to help?" Which you've done so many times.
But you can see a couple where one is not. That doesn't mean it didn't volunteer. Maybe the other one didn't give him a chance to.
There's no such thing as giving a chance to. Like somebody. No. How about you said, okay, I know you had a long day today, but how about I help you with the chores, or a very simple question. What can I do to help?
All these things are important to make sure that you have a good partnership. Yeah, the kids, a lot comes with them.
Yes, the kids, the house. I know I mentioned the house earlier, but it's so true. I don't like when my house is messy. I'm sorry. Here's the thing about me. I wasn't raised in a messy home. So if I wasn't raised in a mess,
you mean your parents don't have those crazy garages that you see people have that?
No, my parents don't. They didn't have that. Thank God they didn't have that.
Or your parents don't have that house. When you get in there, there's so many things you can't.
You can't even move around. No. My
people,
mom
just crowd the house.
Here or back home, her home is always clean. Okay, always clean. Yes, we had helpers in Haiti, but the thing is, here, I wasn't so much of cleaning kind of person when I was at my parents. I was more treated like a princess. When you're the only girl, you kind of I'm just saying. But my point is, okay, that's not the point. My point is, I wasn't raised in a home that was always dirty, with a bunch of dirty clothes, or the bathroom is messy, the living room is upside down. No. My mom always makes sure that before we get inside the house, our shoes left outside. After you're done eating, you clean your plate. The discipline when it comes to the house was so on point. And now I move, I feel like I carry on that.
So you sure it's just your mom that kept the house clean? I know I've seen your dad cleaning sometimes. So why is your mom getting all the credit?
Because it's more like us, the woman who yells out, "Babe, help me out," right? We always the one that sees there's something on the floor. We picked it up. And then you kind of help out in a way. My dad, yes, he does help out. Okay. He does clean. He help out. All right. But I don't think I've seen it where my dad is like, "Oh, babe, oh, honey, or not. Could you pick that up? Or could you put your stuff here?"
Well, your mom will have issues if he asks her to pick it up. So, listen, if something's on the floor, your dad asks your mom to pick it up, she going to look at him and says, "Why don't you get it?" So no, he would not ask her to pick it up. He'll just pick it up.
When you were raised in a home that your parents or your mom were such a, not a clean freak, but constantly cleaning, making sure everything is where it's supposed to be?
Well, I was always a clean person, so I didn't make a mess. But yes, I didn't come.
You're such a fool. That is so not true.
Well,
don't lie to my peeps.
I wasn't brought up in a place where, yes, it wasn't crazy messy. But when mess happens, we clean it up.
I'd be yelling sometimes at my husband.
I've left my shoes in the garage. That's where I leave them. And sometimes I would leave a couple of pairs and not put them in the boxes they're supposed to be in.
I love a clean home. I can't stand people who don't like to keep their house clean.
But I've learned how to mop.
I love a clean home.
I can mop the house. I put on my headset and I go at it. Sometimes it takes longer than it should, but it does. I've washed the dishes.
You didn't used to wash dishes as your mom, though.
No.
Same here.
I only had one dish. Yeah, I don't know.
One plate.
There's only 4 of us since I'm getting the sink. I'm like, really? there's like 10 plates, 4 people. How does that?
Okay.
How do we dirty 10 plates?
Because we
It doesn't
dirty
make
10
sense.
plates.
See, the world that I came from, I had 1 plate. So,
You're so messed up.
but I've learned how to wash dishes. Actually, there's nothing to learn. You just wash that thing. I know she has her way. She says you have to put that here.
Yes,
There.
I have my way, and that's the thing too. His way sometimes screw me up, and I'm like, that's not how you wash dishes, and that's not how you
Stay
do
away.
things.
If you're not washing the dishes, no need for you to be there trying to boss me around. Some people like to boss people around. I got to say that. But you
You be putting the dishes wrong in the dishwasher
no.
sometimes.
You have been putting them wrong in the dishwasher.
That's not
You
true.
can never fit them all in.
Yeah, well,
So I
that's
was
true.
having to go and rearrange them. So she's the one putting them wrong. So, taking care of the house is our responsibility. It's both of our responsibilities, which means if I see something that needs to get done, I'll do it. If I'm
Right.
thinking about it. Sometimes I'm not.
You know.
Again, if I come and I see that she's working on something and cleaning the house, I'll just jump right in and contribute my part to make sure that this gets done. Because at the end of the day, if our house is clean, it
Right.
benefits both of us. So I got to make sure that, hey, if she gets to the point where she can't do it, I can do it. And I remember when the kids were born, for the first few weeks, she couldn't do these things. So I made sure that I took care of stuff.
You sure did, and you're still a man.
I can still do men stuff.
You're such a mess. You're such a mess.
Well, yeah, for you to be a man, you got to do men stuff.
You gotta do men stuff. That's right. That's right.
So, and besides the house, we got to take care of each other as well.
Yes, and back to the house. I think it's so important that even your kids get them involved to help out around
yes,
the house,
kids.
right?
The kids.
Just because they have their room to clean, if they see something on the floor, have them pick it up.
stand there and tell them pick this up.
Don't do that.
Why not? They need to learn
Or
the
if they
art
make a
of picking
mess.
things up.
One thing I appreciate about my girls is that they know not to jump anymore on the couch, right? When they were little, they would do that. But we talked to them so many times. It's not safe and you're not supposed to. So they stopped doing that. And don't throw things on the floor because mommy or daddy will have to pick it up. They don't do that anymore. So it's important for you to really talk to your kids and let them know you can't constantly cleaning all the time. And you as the wife, if you don't take responsibility of your home, then
It's not just the wife.
no.
Here's
Here's the thing: if you don't take responsibility of your home, then your man is gonna look at you like, okay, like you're a wife. Yes, and this is how this is gonna come down to gender roles. Yes, I understand that, but at the same time, if you a stay-at-home dad, and if the wife works and come home and sees that, okay, you've been home all day, you still wearing the same clothes you had on the day when I left you home, and you still have the same clothes, and nothing gets done.
I was busy.
Busy doing what? Watching TV?
Could be.
Busy doing what?
There are things that men do that women wouldn't understand.
And that's the thing I don't understand. Like, I feel like as a wife or girlfriend, fiance, or whatever you are, you really should look at your home or just look at your life and like, would you want this for yourself, right? Because me personally, when I see something wrong, I'm like, I'm a wife. This shouldn't be like laying on the floor like this. My husband be like, well, babe, when I get home or on the weekend, I'll help out with the clothes. Even though I have my business at home, but I still don't want him to help me out with the clothes. I want to make sure I take care of that. Yes, we want to make sure we do what we can. And if they want to help out, then great, But to me, it doesn't look right. It just doesn't look right. You're a woman. You got to take care of your home. Don't be dirty. Just do what you got to do. Just get everybody involved. If you can't do it yourself, get everyone involved and help out the house. Because
teamwork makes the house work.
I get like so happy when I come home and my house is clean. I was like, oh, my house feels light. It just feels bright and want you to stay and not go anywhere. Right? Want you to be home all day. But it's so important, y'all, for real. It's so important. So if you can't do it alone, do it together.
So much for taking care of the house.
And take care of yourself.
It's hard work. Yeah, but taking care of yourself is just as important.
Sometimes I be taking care of the house and I forget to take care of myself. I do.
And I got to remind her to take care of herself.
Yeah.
So, to talk about the rest, the eating on time. Whew.
I don't eat on time.
This woman's got issues.
I don't like eating breakfast and lunch.
Drinking too much coffee.
I don't eat. I need coffee. That's the thing. I don't eat breakfast like that, but I need to have my coffee.
So it's been a constant talk about the coffee, the eating on time, the lunch eating. Dinner was pretty good because we eat dinner. I love dinner. Breakfast, she's bad with it. The kids and I, because I make the kids breakfast in the morning and I eat mine too. So we don't ever leave the house without eating breakfast. But this woman, it's 10, 11. That's when she's eating something. She's got issues.
Here's the thing. I'm a brunch type of person. I don't eat breakfast.
I don't even know what that means.
Baby, I'm a brunch person. Like, I don't eat breakfast. Don't get me 7:30, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock breakfast. No. 11:30, 12 o'clock, we're going to have a brunch. We're going to eat lunch or breakfast and lunch
Sometimes
together.
you have crackers.
For what?
For that brunch you're referring to. That's not brunch.
Listen, here's the thing. I really don't like breakfast. And I truly feel like, yes, I do need to take care of myself. Because I think when you skip too many meals, you tend to gain weight. And I think I'm skipping so many meals and my body is like, okay, Cece, we need to put some food in there. So, I'm not much in medical,
taking
but
care of each other has been a constant thing. And obviously I have my own issues. I may eat on time.
My husband eats 3 meals per day.
I do. I have to. But I'm not burning as many calories, so they're kind of sitting there. So
they sit right in the belly.
I have something, but we understand the importance of taking care of each other, and obviously our health
and look out for each other too.
And this is a conversation we have very, very regularly.
Yes.
And yes, she's doing better with the eating at the right time. Exercising is coming along. It's not quite consistent as it should, but it is coming along.
I'm waiting on you.
And and yes, and this is what's important because we can motivate each other.
I'm waiting on him.
Because when I work out regularly, she has no choice but to.
Yes, because you motivate me.
Yeah, I know I do. So
yeah,
but and this is what we have to make sure we do our best and sacrifice what we need to sacrifice. If it's going to be the sleep, yes. Lose an hour worth of sleep. Get up a little bit earlier than usual.
Which you haven't been
She's
doing.
She's not
that.
in early.
You haven't. Listen, he's talking about me. My husband's been waking up at 6:15, almost 6:30 every morning.
She calls me out,
and I was
so
like,
I have to get better.
Here's the thing: I don't wake up until like sometimes I'll do like 6 o'clock, but not lately though. Not lately. Like I would do 5:30, like mid last year, right? Since the year started, it's been like 6:15. And sometimes 6:30 because I go to bed late. We go to bed at 12:30, almost 1 o'clock. So it's hard for us to wake up early in the morning. But here's the thing about my husband. When it comes time for him to wake up in the morning, and it's like 6 o'clock, the alarm went off. Mind you,
it starts at 5.
Okay, 5. See, 5, 5:15, 5:30, and then he'd turn over to me and hug me. So he doesn't feel too bad and hug me and then went back to sleep. And I was like, babe, it's 5:30. You're supposed to be up. But he's like
I said, I have my issues. But you know what? It's a constant conversation we have in terms of what we need to do to take care of each other, to take care of ourselves.
And I can tell the guilt when I asked him, did you work out this morning?
Yes,
he's like a baby. He's like,
I just kind of mumble. But
we brush it off.
But it's coming, and it's something that we know the importance of it.
Yes.
And if we don't do what we can to help each other get to it, it's not going to happen. So as part of taking care of each other, that's something we have to make sure that we stay on. Yes, it hasn't been happening the way that we want it, but it's not something that we've put on the side either.
Right.
It's still top of mind. Now, another thing that's important as part of taking care, like she handles all the doctor's appointment scheduling and so forth. Make sure that we get our checkup done.
Yes.
Regularly. Like we got to go see a dentist sometime soon. She's already on it. The kids' appointment. So making sure that we don't miss.
Sir, because of your schedule at work, made the family miss our eye appointment, which was like next week.
Yes, I have.
Mind you, I do a yearly schedule, right? This was scheduled last year.
She kept it on her calendar. It wasn't on mine. So
last year,
I didn't have it on my calendar.
Now, because the appointment, the doctor's office is booked until August, we don't have a choice to wait until August.
Isn't it July? No.
July or August. Now, if I go blind, it's on you. That's April, May, June, July. True.
But she handles all of these things just to make sure that
it's important
that we're seeing our doctors and make sure we're good and okay. Because at the end of the day, if something happens to me, it affects the whole family. If something happens to her, it affects the family. So we have to make sure that we do what we can to keep ourselves healthy.
Yes.
Now, we're changing our diet as of next week. I don't know what she's got cookings, but I know there's certain food that's very tasty that I'm no longer going to get to eat. And I'm okay with it. I'm taking
the grill off the menu. The grill got to go. Y'all know how much this man loves his grill.
But I don't have
Albert, you're not going to see us until for a while. I'm putting him on a diet where it's going to be like, listen, it's going to go back to how it was before we got married.
Yeah. And now for us to be able to do these things, we got to have money. And that's why it's important that.
Yeah. I was telling him, I was like, babe, $2,000 is no longer $2,000. When you have needs, you need a extra more than that.
Well, yes.
A little bit more, I should say, than that.
And obviously for you to talk money, you have to make the money.
Right.
And for you to make the money, you got to work. And this is where, financially speaking, you have to be supportive of each other.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For the men in a relationship, you got to bust your ass to make sure you make the money, because your woman's going to tell you $2,000 is not enough for me to take care of myself. When she told me that, I'm like, shoot, I have a problem. So I have a problem.
You don't have no problem.
But it's important financially, because the financial is sometimes that could be the hardest conversation to have, is where are we financially? How do we handle things together? Because we all have needs, and all these things we're talking about, we're changing our diet, we want to work out, we want to eat differently. All that costs money. Mm-hmm. No one's going to hand it to you. You got to buy that stuff. So you got to make sure you have the money. You have to make sure you plan it. I mean, for all of us, the man in the relationship, yes, work hard. The ladies in the relationship, don't be
a spender,
wasteful.
Don't be wasteful, yeah.
I understand that if there's a plan in place, let's stick to the plan the best we can.
Yeah.
And if you have the ability to increase your income, by all means do so, because at the end of the day, the more money comes in the household, the better. Because you can save better, you can invest better, you can provide the things that the family needs for it to be able to function. And believe me, in a relationship where the money situation is stable, you won't have issues. Because money tend to be one of the things that gets in the way of couples' life.
Oh my God, yes, that's number one.
Yeah. So if the money's good and everybody knows how the money's handled and the money's coming in, the money's flowing to the right places, you won't have issues because everybody's happy. That $2,000 she said she wants, she'll get it.
Now, here's the thing about me, though, when it comes to money, and I truly feel like I got this from my mother. We're so good at
stretching the money.
Right. We are very good at that. Sometimes my husband be like, I didn't know you have a pile somewhere. I'm like, yes, I do have a pile.
This woman be hiding
I like to hide
little pockets of money.
Because you never know. You never know when you're out. You never know when you need you never know when you have an emergency, right? You never know when you like, oh my God, I need to that extra whatever amount. But I am so good at savings and make sure that the money is.
She'll hide a couple of $100 bills in a Bible that she doesn't touch for a while. So out of the blue, you find out that okay, there's some money in there.
Yes, like a $20 bills can be somewhere in the office or in the laundry room. To me, it's like I don't give money that much power. I don't let money control me. So therefore, I know how to manage it. I how to control it. I control you. You don't control me. Okay, so a lot of people out there, they tend to like, oh, I gotta have more money. I gotta have $5,000, $10,000. I gotta have as much money for me to to feel happy. Yes, I know money is everything, but it just depends how you manage it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, my husband worked hard and our business is going well. And the thing is, you know, you got to be able to find a way to support your spouse as well. One can't be busting their ass like crazy while the other one just chilling.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm a consumer. I consume what you But you know, one thing that's important, you got to involve your kids in that conversation.
Oh my God. Financial literacy is so important.
Yes. So
financial literacy.
Yeah. So for our kids, the 10 and the 6, they all have their little cards and they have their little accounts. They can see what's in it. Yes. If they want that toy now, so you pay for it yourself.
We should tell them that. Listen, here's the thing about our girls too. They getting that money things together too. They getting it. Sometimes we'll go to the store and they want to buy something. I ask them, did you bring your card? And they're like, no, but can we use your money? I'm like, no, you didn't bring your card. And sometimes they purposely don't bring their cards because they want us to use it. But they want their
money to stay there.
And here's the thing. When we went to Orlando too, they had their money with them. They had their card, but they don't want to use their card because they want to keep their money.
They're smart. They're all into that,
yes.
that OPM.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Other people's money.
Yes. So, they are.
But don't leave your kids out of this growing your wealth or that financial piece of your relationship. Because it's important.
Yes.
Because your kids, you know, when you're having this money talk or this business talk, just bring them in and sit in.
We do.
How you break down your expenses, why you're spending money on this, and give them an opportunity to ask questions.
Yes.
That will help them understand how money works and how to make money their slave. And
right. Right.
When they spend their stuff, they need to see how it reduces what they had.
Yes.
So that's why a little account does work. And thanks to the bank for allowing us to have accounts for kids you can start from 6 years old.
Yes. So. And that's the great thing about it, because we are business owners. So therefore we talk to them about transactions. Like I was on a call earlier with a client and my daughter was like, Mommy, is that a business call? And I was like, yeah, it is a business call. They know to either quiet while I'm on the call with the client because they want to listen. They want to know what I'm talking about because I do credit. They want to hear the conversation so that way they can, you know, get used to hear. And they know about credit repair. They know about how important it is for you to have good credit. So it's interesting how our daughters are like so little and they already have this knowledge versus there's people who are way older, know nothing about credit, know nothing about how to manage your online banking and all so forth. So it is so important. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. So don't leave the kids out because financial literacy is important. And I think
there's one thing you mentioned to me last time about something with our
I think
governor.
The governor of Florida is signing it, which he may have signed it already, that for a high school kid or a high school student rather to graduate, they have to take a financial literacy course, which I think is a great thing, which I think he signed it already.
That's awesome.
Yes. So either next school year or the school year after it's going to go into effect. So
that's good.
So I think it's a step in the right direction because a lot of these things, I'll tell you, these conversations about finances are not happening in most homes. And it's non-existent in the school. It's
not. They just know like after you get out of high school, you go to work. Go find you a fast food job, you make some money, and then work your way there, basically. Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely important. So, and I think truly, of course, above all, we got to keep our faith together, right? You know, a partnership to me is like we keep God first, we pray.
And listen, there's some craziness that happens. Only God keeps you together.
Only God.
So you got to make sure you have that.
Only God, especially when you have so many like you said, craziness going on. You got to pray.
As much as you think you're in control, there's certain stuff you just got to leave him to God.
Let it go.
Make sure that God is around. Otherwise, you will not survive.
Yeah, that's true.
So although we talked about it last, I think it starts with your faith in the God that you believe in.
Yes, it starts with your faith and it ends with your faith.
It has to.
Yes.
You know, because believe me, I'm here today. I don't know about tomorrow, but I pray to God that I can see tomorrow. And so far, He's been there for me.
Yes. And amen to that, you know, because it is an agreement. I feel like when you are in a marriage a partnership. It is an agreement. Like when we are in this partnership of life or whatever.
It's a contract.
Well, it is a contract. But we both sign it when we were on the altar. We both sign it.
No, we signed it at the courthouse.
The altar, because we signed something at the altar. I don't remember what it was.
I don't recall what we
did sign something. I remember. All four of us signed it. You don't remember?
So much happened that day.
I remember.
I remember going to the courthouse because it was a much more peaceful day.
See, I don't remember the courthouse.
Oh, I remember the courthouse.
I don't remember the courthouse.
It was a peaceful day. We went in. We sat in front of the lady. We signed a thing.
I don't remember that. But I remember we signed the thing on the altar. We're at the altar, both of us, and a matron of honor and your best man. We all signed the contract. Okay. So therefore, it is an agreement for us to be in this together for the rest of our life. Not half through, not when you turn 50, not when you turn no. Togetherness, we are in this with God. We are in this, we got to keep our faith, right? Yes. From the beginning until the end, through the struggles to the happiness, the bad time, the good time. Listen, it is.
Through it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So it is, to me, I feel like it is a great business. It is a great.
Marriage is a great business. It's a great partnership.
It is a great partnership.
And you know what? It's a great thing. It has a lot of rewards. And it for many of us, if marriage is for you, you'll find out it's very fulfilling. It's very rewarding. It's a learning journey. You make kids, so you grow, you populate the earth,
you multiply.
You get crazy satisfaction out of it.
True.
So this is a podcast on the marriage partnership.
Married.
Hey, listen. So Is all this that we've discussed, obviously, the things that apply to us, and you could tell that some of them we're not experts at. We're still working at it, and we committed to work at it until we get it. So if you're in a relationship and there are things like, I know some of these things are not common stuff, like cleaning the house. Some of us can't stand it. But
get a maid if you can afford it.
Get a cleaning lady. I don't want one. I can afford one. And I can do the work. But anyway, share this podcast with anyone you think that may be beneficial to. And if this is your first time with us, we appreciate you sticking around and listening to what we had to share about the marriage partnership. And for those of you who have been with us for a while, we appreciate you. Thank you very much for sticking around.
Yes.
If you haven't subscribed, remember to subscribe. Yes. Remember to share the video. Remember to drop us some likes and some comments. We appreciate those things.
Yes. And don't forget to click the bell icon, because, when you click that, it actually notify you when we upload our next videos, which is every Saturday. So hopefully coming soon during the week. And
also don't forget to check us on the audio channels, the Spotify, the SoundCloud,
the Shopify.
Not Shopify. SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, all of those, because you get the opportunity to listen to us while you're driving, maybe while you're cleaning the house.
Right. Okay, high five. Good one.
Yeah.
Listen.
All right, so until next time, peace.
Bye.